Okay, well, this is going to be my last presentation of new material for Math 87, and this is Tuesday, May 26th, and so everything else from here will be review, and people who are interested can watch this. It's just going to be, all we're going to do today is a brief review of order of operations. So I'm going to share my screen. You should be able to see that now, and then if I go back to the PowerPoint slide. And so what we're going to talk about is order of operations, or what order you do things, because it matters how you do them, because if you are thinking about here, and what I'm going to do also is I'm going to turn off my video. Where is my share screen? Am I not sharing screen? Oh, I need to share my screen. And one thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn off my video because it slows down sharing the screen. Okay, so now we'll go through and we'll talk about order of operations. Sorry about that. So this is the order of operations, the order of how you do things. So whether you do multiplication first and what happens when you have complicated expressions and how you do them. So we'll give some examples of that. So this is the list of order of operations. This is the list of order of operations where you want to perform all our operations with parentheses or brackets first, or braces, and I'll go through what those symbols are, or other grouping symbols such as fraction bars starting with the innermost set. And then you evaluate any expressions with exponents, and then multiply or divide in order from left to right, and add or subtract in order from left to right, just as though you were reading in the in English or most Western languages. So let's go through some particular examples, and I'm going to use my new drawing tablet, so you should be able to see things. So let's look at a relatively simple expression where you've got something like, I want to go to brushes, and I want to pick this. And so let's go to something like 2 plus 3 times 5 plus 3 minus 8. And let's figure out what that would be equal to, right? So there, that's what I want. Okay. So let's go through and look at this now. And so we do things that are inside the parentheses first. So the parentheses are the grouping. So we do that addition first. And so this would be 2. Hang on, I will get this. Try that. There we go. 2 plus 3, and then we do the addition. 5 plus 3 is 8 minus 8. And this equals 0. Now, if we weren't paying attention to order operations, we might do the subtracting 8 before we did the multiplication, and we would say this would be 2 plus 3 times 8 minus 8, right? Which would be 2 plus 3 times 0. But this is wrong. That's not the way you do it, right? So we do that multiplication first. So this would be 2 plus 3 times 8 is 24 minus 8, and now we do the addition, doing left to right. So 2 plus 24 is 26 minus 8. And 26 minus 8 is 18. So that would be the correct answer there, right? So now let's look at a little bit more complicated example. We'll go back here and we'll say, well, what if we've got something like this? We've got 8 plus 5 times 3 minus 6 times 2 plus 3, right? So what do we do here? Well, we know we have to look at inside here first. We have to look inside that parentheses first, right? And we follow the rules of our order when we do look inside that parentheses. And so we're going to do that multiplication first. So this is going to be equal to 8 plus 5 times 3 minus 6 times 2 is 12 plus 3. And now we do what's inside that parentheses first. So this would be 5 plus 9 times, I'm sorry, 5 plus, oops, 5 plus 5 times 3 minus 12 is minus 9 plus 3. So this is 5 plus 5 minus 45 plus 3, because this 5 times minus 9 is not minus 45. So this is 5 minus 45 plus 3. So 5 minus 45 is 40. So this is minus 40 plus 3 equals minus 37. Okay. So again, you do things inside the parentheses first. And delete. Right. So, and remember, one of the things was braces. So if we had an expression that looks like this, 5 times 3 minus, and then we had in braces 5 times 3 minus 2, right? You work in from the out from the parentheses and braces. So here are the braces, brackets. And braces look like this. Oops, I didn't draw that very well. Those are braces, and those work just like parentheses or brackets. So here are brackets, and here are parentheses. And all of those work to group things, right? So these are all different ways of grouping things. So working in to out, we would do this subtraction first. So 3 minus 2 is 1. So this would be 5 times 3 minus 5 times 1, right? Well, 5 times 3 minus 5 times 1 is 5, so this is 5 times 3 minus 5, right? So 3 minus 5 is minus 2, so this is 5 times minus 2, and this is minus 10, right? So you start in the inside and then work to the outside, following the rules of operation inside each parentheses. Select, I'll select all, and then delete. There we go. Okay. So what happens if you have something like this? Say you've got 5 plus 2 times 3 minus 1 all over 3 plus 8 minus 2 times 4. Okay. So how does all of this work? And the thing you want to keep in mind is that this divisor sign, this radical sign here, I'm sorry, this fraction bar, that bar works like a set of parentheses. So you could think of this equation as being 5 plus 2, 3 minus 1, close brackets, divided by brackets 3 plus 8 minus 2 times 4. Okay. And in that case, hang on just a minute here. And in that case, in this case, then it's relatively clear what you do. You'd say, okay, well, I'm just going to apply all of the other rules of operation. I'm going to do that subtraction first, and I'm going to do that subtraction before I do anything else. So this would become 5 plus 2 times 2 divided by 3 plus, and this is 8 minus 2 is 6, 6 times 4, right? And now in each case, and here I've written the multiplication two different ways, but it's the same process. So I do the multiplications first. This is 5 plus 4 in those brackets divided by 3 plus 6 times 4 is 24, and there are brackets around this. So this is 9 divided by 30. I'm sorry. This, let's say here, zippity-doo-dah, this is going to take a little bit of practice. Delete. 3 plus 24, right? So 3 plus 24 is 27, right? So 9 divided by 27 is equal to 9 over 27, which is equal to 1/3. Okay. And we could do this a different way. So if we looked at this, whoops, select. Delete. 3 plus 8 minus 2 times 4. And we could do this a different way by saying, okay, well, I'm going to look at the top and the bottom and parse each one each way. So again, we'd have 5 plus 2 times 2 over 3 plus 6 times 4, right? So you would get 9 over 27 again, or 1/3, right? So you can get there the same way, just remembering that this divisor sign is the same as if you had parentheses around the numerator and the denominator. Okay. Now, if you have more complicated expressions, let's say select all, delete. Okay. Let's say you had some examples that were things with exponents, where you had 5 to the 2 plus 3 minus 1. Put parentheses around there. Okay, right? You want to do everything in the exponent first before you do the exponentiation, right? So this would be 5 plus 3 minus 1 is 2. So this would be 5 to the 2 plus 2, or 5 to the 4th, which is 25 times 25, which is a number 625. Yeah, it's 625, which is 625. I believe that's 5 to the 4th. Okay, so exponentiation operates sort of like parentheses in itself, so that everything in the exponential term, so 5 to the exponential, everything there would get processed first using the same order of operations that you would use in anything else, right? So just to review order of operations, let me go back to the PowerPoint, right? So remember, perform all operations. So you perform all operations within parentheses, brackets, or other grouping symbols such as fraction bars, starting with the innermost set. And the innermost set is, and you treat things in a fraction bar as separately, the top and the bottom, right? You evaluate any expressions with exponents, treating things in the exponents the same way you would for all of these, right? So if the exponent is a compound expression, you evaluate that first, and then you can multiply or divide in order from right to left. You multiply or divide in order from left to right, and then you add or subtract in order from left to right. So we'll do a couple more examples of order of operation, and then I will stop, and that should be it for this. So let me go back to my, here we go. All right. So I want to go back to my board, and I want to erase things. Select all, delete. Okay. All right. So let's do something where it's 2 times 4 squared minus 75 divided by 5. Okay. So what are we going to do first? Well, we do exponentiation first, right? So this would be 2 times 4 squared is 16, and this is minus 75 divided by 5, right? And now you do multiplication proceeding from left to right. So you would do this multiplication and this division, multiplication and division. So 2 times 16 is 32 minus, and then 75 divided by 5 is 25. And so now we do the subtraction. 32 minus 25 is 7. Okay. So let's do another one. Let's do 2 minus 15 divided by 5 plus 2 cubed times 2. Okay. So again, you're going to do exponentiation first. So 2 cubed is 2 times 2 times 2. Remember, 2 cubed is equal to 2 times 2 times 2, which is equal to 8. So this is 2 minus 15 divided by 5 plus 8 times 2. Okay. And now what do? Well, we do divisions and multiplications first, proceeding left to right. So we do this. So this is 2 minus 15 divided by 5 is 3, plus 8 times 2 is 16. All right, and now we can do the first subtraction. So 2 minus 3 is minus 1. So this is minus 1 plus 16, and this is 15, right? Okay. So let's do another couple of examples. Select all, delete. So let's pick a nice, how about, okay, whoops, select, let's go back to our pen. So let's do minus 3 squared times 18 minus 5, I'm sorry, 18 minus 15. Gotta learn how to do the eraser. Oh, look at that. Okay. How about that? 18 minus, where am I? 18 minus 15 plus 51. Now remember when we have this, if we have minus 3 squared, right? This is negative 3 squared. And if we wanted to write minus 3 squared, we would put parentheses around the minus 3. Remember that from when we did this? Okay. So this is minus 3 squared. So this is going to be equal to minus 9 times 18 minus 15 plus 51, because we do the exponentiation first. Okay. So now this parentheses, it's going to override the multiplication. So we're going to do this subtraction first. So this is minus 9 times 18 minus 15, 3, minus 9 times 3 plus 51. Minus 9 times 3, now we do multiplication first. So this is minus 27 plus 51. So this is 24, doing that addition. Okay. Okay. Delete. All right. So let's do one more. Let's do 330 minus 2 times 5 cubed plus 25. Okay. So again, exponentiation comes first. So 5 cubed. 5 cubed is equal to 5 times 5 times 5, which is equal to 125. So this is 330 minus 2 times 125 plus 25, right? So 330 minus 2 times 150, because we do this addition first. So this is 330 minus 300. 2 times 150 is 300, so this equals 30. Okay. So order of operation is relatively straightforward. Remember, multiplicate, you do exponentiation first, you do things inside parentheses. Okay, so you start off looking for parentheses and do whatever in there first, and the order of operations is exponentiation comes first, multiplication would come second, and then addition and subtraction would come third, always working left to right with the different operations unless you have parentheses. Okay. So I think I'm going to stop there, and I will put this video up on YouTube and then up on Canvas so you can look at it. And there won't be any problems assigned with this, but from now on what we're going to be doing is specific review and working towards the final tests and then the final should you decide to take it. Okay, I will talk to you later.